Let's start. All right. So yesterday we were discussing about osteosarcoma. As I told you, this is also called osteogenic sarcoma, the most common primary malignant tumor of the bone, characterized by osteoid formation. A gelatinous substance will be formed. Sometimes bone will be formed, extra tumor-like growth, or both osteoid and bone can be formed. They can be classified either into medullary osteosarcomas, medullary, and parosteal. So yesterday we were discussing about medullary sarcoma, wherein I told you there are two different types of medullary osteosarcoma. Mostly occurs in younger people, about 10 to 20 years of age, and you will have both primary type without any absence, without any pre-existing condition or underlying disease, and you have secondary medullary osteosarcoma, wherein the patient will have something like osteomyelitis, fractures of bones, fibrous dysplasia, or Paget's disease. Now, pathologically, you will see that the tumor is very bulky. It'll be a grayish white kind of bulky mass at the metaphyseal end. So, if you see a osteosarcoma, specifically a medullary osteosarcoma, it will look something like this. So, it is a very bulky kind of tumor, grayish white colored bulky tumor. It will generally not go towards the articulation. It will not enter into the joint itself. And as you see, यहाँ पर this fellow is showing the humerotibial joint, where it can occur on the shoulder as well. If you cut open the tumor, you'll be able to see that there are small areas where hemorrhage is occurring, and you will see areas where necrosis is occurring. So essentially, you'll be able to see necrotic bone in that tumor. You might see sarcoma cells that are undifferentiated. You might also see osteogenesis that is occurring in that area. Then the parosteal type of osteosarcoma is much more uncommon. Okay, very rare. This is a more external kind of tumor. Okay, the origin itself will be very external, outside kind of tumor होता है ये. And the tumor generally occurs in older people. It does not have any gender dilatation, pre-dilatation, in the sense that it is gender neutral. In the sense it will occur in both genders equally. It's a very slow growing tumor. Okay. Then coming to cartilage forming tumors. So those were all bone forming tumors, osteoid osteoma, ya osteosarcoma, ya osteoma. All of them are tumors in which the tumor itself will be forming a bone. Cartilage forming tumors, as the name suggests, there will be new growth of cartilage. The tumor banta, that will be cartilaginous. Okay. Now you have a number of cartilage forming tumors. We'll discuss some of the important ones. Those should be enough. You have a small description of several cartilage forming tumors. First, we'll look at osteochondromas. पहले benign tumors देखेंगे, उसके बाद malignant tumors. So osteochondroma is also called osteocartilaginous exostosis. ठीक है, इसको it is also called osteocartilaginous exostosis. Okay. Now, why is it called so? Exostosis essentially refers to a mushroom-like growth. So what happens is, I'll show you how osteochondroma looks. It will be easier for you to understand that way. This is how osteochondroma looks. Okay. As you can see, there is a tumor that is arising from the diaphysis in a way. Okay. Technically, it will arise from the metaphysis, but it will have connection into the diaphysis and the medullary cavity as well. The most common location for this will be the lower end of the femur and upper end of tibia. Sometimes it can also occur in the upper end of humerus. ठीक है, as you can see the tumor itself, it will have a यहाँ पर narrow base बता रहे, the medullary cavity जहाँ पर what you call underlined है, जहाँ पर ये labeled है medullary cavity बल्कि, it is showing a very thin and narrow end, but sometimes it can be a very broad end as well. Okay, so as such that might be variable, but what is common is that it is continuous with the medullary cavity. it will literally protrude out like a mushroom. Okay, and you will see cartilage on top of that mushroom like structure which will enclose the cortical bone. So this is all part of the tumor. जो cartilage है, नया cortical bone बन रहा, and that whole new structure that is becoming, that whole is a part of a tumor. ठीक है. Then there is encochondroma. Next one will be encochondroma. As I told you, very very small ones that you have, not a lot of detail. Encochondroma is again a benign tumor, generally develops centrally. Okay, I think one second I'll have an image of that. I'll show you how a multiple encochondroma looks. Hmm, one second, there's some problem. Hold on. Yeah. So see, this is a encochondroma. Encochondroma essentially will be again cartilaginous tumors, but they are occurring internally. Benign cartilaginous tumor that will occur inside the affected bone. तो आप ऐसा सर्जरी करके निकाल दे सकते हैं. If you look at the tumor itself, this will be bluish gray and almost transparent in color. Cartilaginous mass. ठीक है. Generally occurs peripheral to the bone itself. ठीक है. Bone के बाहर के end पे grow होता है ये. Then there is chondroblastoma. One second, chondroblastoma ऐसा रहता है देखो. Chondroblastoma, right. See, this is a chondroblastoma. Chondroblastoma is a very rare benign tumor that will occur at the epiphysis of long bones, generally directly adjacent to epiphyseal cartilage plate. जो epiphyseal plate जहाँ पर आपकी growth होती, or technically speaking, it should be epiphyseal line, and later on, after growth stops, it will become an epiphyseal plate. Anyway, just beside that epiphyseal plate will be the area where you can see these benign tumors occurring. Sometimes there will be many small tumors. Sometimes it can be a very big mass, almost up to 5 centimeters in diameter. बड़ा mass रहता. ठीक है. More commonly in upper tibia, lower femur, and upper humerus. These long bones are the most common places where these benign tumors generally occur. ठीक है. You can also have a chondromyxoid fibroma. उसका तो image नहीं है मेरे पास. Don't think I have that. Okay. The next one will be chondromyxoid fibroma. ये ट्यूमर जो है, again uncommon benign tumor, cartilaginous origin. This will arise in the metaphysis of bones. Arises in metaphyses. And generally it is enclosed by the metaphysis. So essentially what will happen is it will be enclosed inside the bone. If you perform x-ray or if you are able to scan the bone, that is when you'll be able to find it. Okay, generally lower end of the femur में होता है ये. Grayish white kind of lobulated mass रहता, almost 5 centimeters in diameter, that will lie inside the metaphysis. So if you look at the metaphysis, this tumor will look something like this. It will be inside the metaphysis itself. ठीक है. And the tumor is often surrounded by a layer of sclerotic bone. Whenever there is damage occurring, वहाँ पर sclerosis होता. Whenever this tumor is present, it is surrounded by one layer of sclerosis, or it is surrounded by one layer of sclerotic bone. That is a characteristic feature of chondromyxoid fibroma. Then there is so those are all benign tumors. You have chondromyxoid fibroma, chondroblastoma, encochondroma, and osteochondroma. Then there is malignant tumors. First one will be chondrosarcoma. Now, this is a malignant tumor of a chondroblast. Chondroblasts are responsible for growth, just like osteoblasts, they are responsible for the growth of your cartilage. It's a very slow growing tumor, but it has better prognosis when compared to osteosarcoma. Now, there are two different types of chondrosarcoma that can occur in a patient. The more common one will be central chondrosarcoma. Central chondrosarcoma में क्या होता? The tumor itself is arising in the medullary cavity of your diaphysis. ठीक है, directly under the inside the diaphysis. This tumor is arising. Sometimes it can also be in the metaphysis. Mostly it is in the diaphysis. Centrally it will occur and grow, malignant tumor. Or sometimes it can be a peripheral type of tumor. Peripheral chondrosarcoma will arise at the cortex of the bone. So either it will occur in the cortex or sometimes in the periosteum as well, outer layer essentially. Okay. Initially it will start off as a benign tumor, later on it will become a malignant tumor. Okay. It will pre-existing benign cartilaginous tumor रहता generally. Peripheral chondrosarcoma, whoever has peripheral chondrosarcoma, there is a good chance that they already had a benign tumor. That benign tumor is becoming malignant. Okay. It is becoming chondrosarcoma. Now the tumor itself is very variable in size. Sometimes it is a few centimeters, sometimes it is very very big and very firm. Okay. If you cut open the tumor, it will be just like a cartilage. Cartilage को देखे तो कैसा रहता है, slightly bluish white gelatinous mass रहता ना, वैसा रहता. Chondrosarcoma will be mixoid in appearance. It will be very very gelatinous in appearance, and inside that jelly like appearance you will see certain areas where ossification is occurring, where bone formation is occurring essentially. Okay. So what tumor itself will be a large tumor occurring inside or sometimes even outside the bone, mostly inside. Central chondrosarcoma is the more common one. Peripheral will rarely occur. But if whatever type of chondrosarcoma is occurring, the tumor itself will be bluish white in color, translucent, and it will be gelatinous or mixoid in appearance. Okay. It is very very invasive kind of tumor. Okay, it will invade into a lot of cells, and the lobules of the tumor itself will undergo anaplasia. These cells which are present in the tumor itself, they might show hyperchromatism, they might show pleomorphism, they'll show specific signs of malignancy. Then chondrosarcoma के बाद you have osteoclastoma. Osteoclastoma is also called giant cell tumor. Okay. This is a very distinctive type of neoplasm without any proper histiogenesis, meaning its histiogenesis, the way tissues are being formed in osteoclastoma is very, very subjective, both varied रहता. Generally speaking, the tumor arises around the epiphysis. So at the top end of your bone, this tumor will arise, and generally very close to the articulation. So जो articular cartilage रहती है उसके बहुत नजदीक रहता है. If you know, near the articulation, specifically if you talk about articulation of long joints or articulation of big joints essentially, for example आपका shoulder joint है या knee joint है, यहाँ पर this type of tumor will generally occur near the edge where those two bones are meeting, essentially near the synovial space or near the edge of the epiphysis. Okay. Most common sites will be your lower end of the femur, upper end of tibia. Now, the hallmark feature of giant cell tumor that you see is presence of a very large number of multinucleate osteoclasts. You will see a lot of osteoclasts present in the tumor. Several osteoclasts which are multinucleate. Okay? And what will happen is these will literally join together and become a giant cell. तो ये जो osteoclasts है, osteoclasts are responsible for bone remodeling. Osteoclasts will literally club together and they'll make a giant cell. Okay, so several such giant cells will regularly be scattered around the stroma of your bone. Okay, that is a characteristic feature of osteoclastoma, hence the name osteoclastoma. Then there is another tumor which is called chondroma. Chondroma is a very very slow growing malignant tumor, generally arises from notochord. This fellow arises from notochord. What is notochord? Uh, During development, what happens is the initial cells that will form your spinal cord जो बनाते ना, there is something called a primitive axial skeleton. That primitive axial skeleton will subsequently develop into spine. That primitive axial skeleton itself is called notochord. So notochord is the primitive skeleton that will eventually develop into your spinal cord. Develops into spinal cord. This is not subcutaneous, spinal cord है वो. ठीक है. Let me put a dot instead of hyphen. Now, if those cells remain, let us suppose that primitive skeleton ke cells remain inside your body, what will happen is they can lead to the formation of chondroma, generally from axial skeleton, particularly the sacral part of the skeleton, or even sphenooccipital region. वहां से भी sometimes they can grow. Infrequently they'll occur from the vertebrae. In any case, the tumor itself is very soft. It is a lobulated, translucent kind of gelatinous tumor, wherein the jelly-like tumor will have certain areas where there is hemorrhage, where there is bleeding. Okay. Generally, the tumor itself will be very vacuolated. It will have a very vacuole-like appearance, highly vacuolated appearance, and it is surrounded by a mucus-like material. Okay, that is a chondroma. Then finally, the last type of tumors of your cartilage that you'll have is called metastatic bone tumors. Technically, this is the last type of bone tumor itself. Metastatic bone tumors can spread to anywhere. Okay. They are initially primary tumors that can move anywhere. So, for example, one of the most common areas where bone tumors can metastasize to are breast. Okay. Breast cancer, prostate cancer. Essentially, it is metastatic bone cancer बोलते हैं उसको. It is not termed breast cancer, even though it is occurring in the breast. These, for example, अगर breast में हो रहा है या prostate में हो रहा है या lung में हो रहा है या kidney में हो रहा है, for example lung में हो रहा है. So what you will see is that the cells of the bone will start appearing inside your lungs and they'll start growing. So there will be hardening of your lungs and certain structures that will appear in the lung that will make it look like a bone. ठीक है. So it is called metastatic bone cancer or metastatic bone tumor rather than calling it a lung tumor. ठीक है. Now the skeletal what you call cells that are metastasizing, they can be either single or they can be multiple. So at the same time they can affect multiple areas. So spine, pelvis, femur, skulls, ribs, humerus, ये पूरे एक साथ भी affect हो सकते हैं, or two or more might be affected, or sometimes a single one might be affected as well. Metastatic bone tumors can be very erratic in that sense. So with that, we have completed your tumors of the bone, tumors of bone and tumors of cartilage. In the next class, we'll start with clinical pathology. So we have completed the second chapter where we have systemic pathology. Next chapter, we'll start clinical pathology. Okay. Second unit is done.